Dear Grandma, today was the last day of the holiday. We went to the beach, we built sandcastles, and also played in the freezing cold water.
My name is Kenia Maria Rodriguez Garcia with Cuban, have a lot of name and surname. I am a civil engineer, and I was a success candidate for a program between South African and Cuban government, specifically for the housing department. When I traveled to South Africa, we were almost 8 years married already, and we couldn't have a child. It was almost a miracle baby because I was already 40. She was born in September 2008 here in Cape Town, and when she was born, we immediately thought she was Cuban because we are both Cuban.
Acquiring nationality is much like a birthright lottery. You hope for the best, but in the end, you have no control over which rights you will be entitled to.
Daniela's case is an example of how a child can fall through the cracks of nationality laws and citizenship provisions.
Daniela is disqualified from Cuban nationality because of her parents' permanent immigrant status, and she's also disqualified from South African nationality because neither of her parents are South African. So Daniela was born stateless.
Any person who is not recognized as a citizen by any country is a stateless person.
The only two countries who could possibly be linked to her is South Africa and Cuba. She's never been to any other country, so she has no legal link to any other country.
Every individual must have a citizenship. That is what links the person to his country, his community, his society. It basically is what contributes to the very identity of an individual.
You need the necessary documentation to study at a university, to find employment, to get married.
At the moment, she's able to go to school, but once she gets to matric, she won't be able to access her matric certificate because she doesn't have an identity document.
With stateless people, and with Daniela specifically, she has no freedom of movement outside the borders of South Africa. And the freedom of movement is a very basic human right.
Not only her right to freedom of movement is impaired, but also that of her family.
Daniel lost his job. They gave him an offer to work in Brazil. He couldn't move. He could move, but he decided he cannot leave Daniela behind. It's his daughter.
Section 2.2 of the South African Citizenship Act says that a person who is born in South Africa and who does not have access to another nationality shall be a South African citizen by birth. It's not an application process, so actually the Department of Home Affairs does not have a discretion to deny her nationality. She just needs to show that she does not have nationality in any other country.
Nobody have to do illegal things. You just have to go to the minister, and the minister have to sign the exemption. It's in the law.
We approached the High Court of South Africa. The High Court judge agreed with us and declared Daniela to be a South African citizen by birth. Home Affairs, they still do not agree with us, and they've appealed this decision. Daniela is still stateless until the matter is resolved.
When I made my application to the court, I was very clear. I'm not just talking for Daniela. I don't want any other child to be born in this situation.
Tomorrow I'm going at school. My first day at grade 1. I'm gonna learn how to read, and I'm gonna do homework.
How can people be so insensible about a child's right?
South Africa is one of the most well-received and renowned constitutions in the world, and we afford so many rights to individuals, but the very fact that our own laws do not allow access It's heartbreaking.
Even if a person is a citizen, they can still be stateless because of the practice in that country, which is what happens to Daniela.
UNHCR's last estimates are that there are some 10 million people globally who may be stateless.
One of my cousins are having a baby in Cuba. I feel so happy for them. I wanna go visit you so much.
They can't go anywhere. They don't have passports. They are going to stay in South Africa, and they are going to probably have children in South Africa, and they will also be stateless.
When you go and you say, I had a child, and you start filling applications, you are nobody.
We have to implement Section 2.2 of the Citizenship Act.
When a child is born, you are there to protect that child, and you don't know how to do it.
The Constitution does say that South Africa belongs to all who live in it. We have adopted the Constitution in order to free the potential of each and every person.
She has the right to a future, to a bright future that she dreamed.
If we're going to free her potential, we're going to have to acknowledge her nationality.